continue right here with another edition of the Ancient American Magazine, Archaeology of the Americas Before Columbus. This is issue number 68 of their collection. One of the articles in this magazine says here, the Anubis Caves. Evidence of Mithraism and Celtic religion in the Oklahoma Panhandle by Carl Lieberger. The Anubis Cave site located in the Oklahoma Panhandle is one of the most significant examples of Old World contact in the New World before Columbus. The epigraphy and mythology inscribed in this group of caves are interwoven into an elaborate Heliolytic apparatus precisely calibrated for equinoxes. Phrases in Celtic, etched in Ogham, and Libyan script have been interpreted to refer to celebrations at equinox and mention Bel and Grian, Celtic names for the sun god. Remarkably, the Anubis Caves are amongst the best surviving records of the cult of Mithras, an old world religion that spanned the Persian and Roman empires. You hear that? It's the oldest surviving. So where did it originate? Gloria Farley was shown the site in 1978 by a local rancher. She then identified the dog-like figure in one of the caves as the Egyptian jackal god Anubis. Hence the name Anubis Cave, all right? We already know Anubis is from America. That's the Shalot dog. Barry Feld provided translations to some of the inscriptions. Based on this translation, the presence of sun symbols, and the general orientation of the caves, it was predicted that the caves contained an equinox alignment involving light and shadow interplay. Another study reported that such alignments did, in fact, exist at the Anubis site. This work led to a more thorough treatment of the archaeoastronomy, cosmology, and mythology of the site in ancient American inscriptions. The primary source of information used in preparing this article, Scott Monahan of Denver, Colorado, produced a television documentary in 1984 and 1985 entitled History of the Rocks, which documents major features of the Anubis Caves. 20 years later, he has updated the story with a new documentary entitled Old News, which includes video documentation and commentary on the Anubis Caves.
The date is pulled out of the astronomy, and the astronomy verifies the inscription. Those two things make this unique. We have nothing like it anywhere in the country that I'm aware of.
Grun si Mithraism, yes amai Mithraism. This is Old Gaelic, and we're guessing at the vowels because the vowels aren't written.
It goes on to translate, the sun is 6 months in the pleasant north, in the gloomy south for the other months.
As the nose pointer shadow crosses the upper stem line on equinox, the forehead of the shadow above aligns with the first of 13 notches inside an eyebrow-like petroglyph.
They draw a line, as they did in the Book of Ballymote, a late 14th century manuscript, which explains and translates the oath. As a matter of fact, it shows different types of oath.
This may be some of the most important artifacts found in our time in America. And these are artifacts. They're man-made objects left behind as a result of their cultural activity.
The more we learn, the more we know that in ancient times people traveled all over the world, and their ships were excellent.
The U.S. Geological Survey came to investigate the Crack Caves archaeoastronomy. A break in the clouds on the eastern horizon allowed only a brief sunlit observation shortly after sunrise.
You get more sun. I can see the disk. You got a sun disk.
We never know when we look at one of these sites for sure that what we're seeing was intended, but I think this is a fairly convincing site in terms of the interplay of the sunlight on the petroglyphs.
The light being focused on that area and the petroglyphs being within that area indicates that it most likely was put there with that purpose because of the time of the year and this day being equinox.
I can radiocarbon date the rock varnish, the dark coating that forms on rocks. That provides a calibration, and at the same time with the same sample, I determine the chemistry of it.
Based on the lab results, Dr. Dorn dates the Triogam to 900 BC, and the Noble Twins inscription to 1000 BC.
The image of the two suns and the god sitting between the two suns. So the god is sitting at the point of the equinox. That's the position of Mithras.
To understand ourselves, we have to understand history, and we are looking at history here.
All right, you see that was a little promo of the documentary. You see this, a lot of people taking this very seriously. A lot of professors, people who actually study this stuff. Here's the Anubis inscription right here, or hieroglyphic. It says here, Philip M. Leonard has been studying the Anubis Caves for over 25 years, along with William McGlone. He has co-authored dozens of papers on the subjects of ancient American inscriptions and petroglyphs. His most recent research on the Anubis Cave is a monogram entitled A New World Monument to Mithras, which provides more thorough coverage of the material presented in this article. Leonard and Monahan are among the few researchers continuing to investigate and document the Anubis Caves. Continue a little bit more ahead. It says Mithras is often shown wearing a cape covered with stars. In Anubis Cave 2, he wears a cape and is positioned between a rising sun and a setting sun. 7 rays emanate from his head. Mithra is the ancient Irish word for the rays of the sun. The 7 rays may also relate to the 7 grades of Mithraic initiation. Each grade had its own set of teachings, represented by a celestial body and symbol, and each of these symbols is found on the Anubis panel. For Phiri, the ancient writer assigned Mithras' proper seat as the line of the equinoxes. Very thorough little article here, showing you what's inside the cave and interpreting it. Again, they're telling you Celtic and Mithra religion. And we got Ogham writing as well. It says here, figure 7, the 6th-month Ogham. And on the left here, Cave 1 constellations. And some more drawings right here. Figure 8, Bell Ogham from Anubis Cave 4. So there's many caves, not just one cave here. There are Ogham-like inscriptions in 5 of the Anubis caves. The first to receive attention was the 6th-month Ogham in Cave 3. It was originally translated by Fell, as the sun is 6 months in the north, in the south for the other months. Fell's early translation led to the original suggestion by John Polanski that the site was associated with the equinox. And then we got another here in figure 9, Libyan writing on the Anubis panel. All right, so we got Libyan over here too. So a lot of good research here. So it's not just one person saying this is so. There's a lot of people telling you these are old world inscriptions here. This is one of the most famous places in America, the Anubis Cave. I wanted to bring this to your awareness in case you weren't aware of it. So you can do some further research if you like on the Anubis Cave. Again, these are old world inscriptions found here in Oklahoma. It says here in the conclusion, the equinox alignments at the Anubis Caves were not solely established for calendar keeping and calibrations. Instead, they were created as part of a complex monument involving the constellations interwoven into ancient mythology and cosmology. While ruins of several Mithraic temples or Mithraeums survive in Europe, none known to the author display the astronomical details, cosmology, and mythology found at the Anubis Caves. Whoever inscribed them in Oklahoma had to know Ogham script, the Celtic language, astronomy, and Mithraic religious symbolisms in use over 1,500 years ago. All right, letting you know America's the true old world.